Hi, my name is Kieran Mears, and I'm a student of Urban Studies. I'm here to tell you all about what you can expect from the Urban Studies program here at Leiden University. What is urban studies? Cities are very interesting places. Over half of the world's population live in cities. Cities are a country's engine of economy, culture, arts, and of social interaction. Cities are also vital in tackling some of the nation and the world's biggest problems. Cities are a very important tool in being able to fight climate change, as well as on a national level, where cities are able to tackle the housing crisis. The program Urban Studies combines multiple disciplines, looking at the problems and opportunities that cities can have from a wide variety of different angles. Urban Studies focuses on two main areas, looking at the knowledge that one can develop of urban areas and of urban issues, as well as looking at the academic side, where you develop your own skills from the academic perspective. There are four main threads within Urban Studies: the safe city, looking at crime, criminology, and the fear of crime within cities; the sustainable city, looking at how cities can become ever more green and more sustainable; the multicultural city, looking at the different kinds of diversity that can exist within cities; as well as the healthy city, looking at how cities can address major health issues within their boundaries. There are a lot of different academic tactics that you learn within the program as well. Being able to critically analyze texts and narratives from an academic perspective, looking at being able to write and source your own texts, as well as being able to develop a bit of statistical knowledge as well that you're able to bring to your academic career. The program Urban Studies at Leiden University is quite unique, not just because it's one of the English-taught programs, but also because it's one of the few that addresses the issues of cities and other urban issues from a humanities perspective, being able to look at these topics from a social and scientific perspective. The Hague is also an excellent location for the program as well. As one of the fastest growing cities in the Netherlands, it's quite something to be able to learn about urban topics within the classroom and then step outside and see them unfold in front of you. But of course, it isn't all education. There are plenty of shopping districts within the city as well, and no matter where you are, you're always just a tram ride away from the beach. What does the program look like? Within your first year, you look at a wide variety of urban topics from a lot of different angles. So for instance, some of the courses include looking at the very foundations of urban studies, being able to analyze cities, why they arose, where, and why. We also look at topics like urban governance, how cities are governed, and the way that citizen networks work within them, as well as looking at a few others, such as urban economics, as well as diversity within cities. The one about diversity within cities was one of my favorites because it really opened my mind as to how the different ways that, say, for instance, language can be used within cities for a wide variety of different purposes by different people. We also look at developing your own academic skills through our academic writing and presenting module. This gives you the ability to write academic texts, as well as analyze and come up with more critical engagement of a wide variety of different academic discourses and engagements. Within your second year, you begin to specialize a little bit. So within the first semester, you get to choose to study either the multicultural city or the safe city within greater depth, on top of a lecture series looking at both of these. I chose the safe city because I wanted to learn a little bit more about how crime works within cities and why people might be afraid of crime, for instance. We also look at different methodologies, and there is a methodology elective allowing you to choose between either statistics or looking at interviews and other forms of research methods. It's a similar story with semester 2, where you get to choose to look at either the healthy city or the sustainable city in greater depth, on top of a lecture series focusing on the two of these as well. There's also a further choice between different forms of academic methodologies. All of this is quite nice to me because it allows me to choose exactly the way that I'd like to kind of shape my own academic degree. The third year is a very busy and exciting year. In the first semester, you get the choice to pursue a year abroad, if you'd like, either at one of Leiden University's partner universities or at another university somewhere in Europe through the Erasmus Plus program. You can also choose to do a minor either at Leiden or at a number of Leiden's partner universities within the Netherlands, or you can choose to do an internship either at a private company, a municipality, or a non-governmental organization. One of my friends is pursuing an internship with the Hague Municipality's Transport Department, and he's really fond of how it has complemented what he's learned within his degree. Within the second semester, you look at developing a thesis, not just by yourself, but with the help of one of Leiden University's thesis advisors. You also get to put into practice a lot of the knowledge that you've developed within learning through your degree, through an urban project, either with a municipality, a business, or an NGO within The Hague. There are about 20 to 24 contact hours in an average week. This is about 10 through lectures, usually about 5 per week of 2 hours each, as well as tutorials and work groups, where you examine examples from the lectures in greater depth in a smaller group. So for instance, within the lecture about diversity within cities, we learned in broad about the different uses of street language. And then within the tutorial, we were able to examine the example of street language in Gouda in greater depth. As well, there are 2 sets of exams every semester, with the semester being divided into 2 blocks. As well, you're not just on your own for this. When you go into first year, you're assigned a mentor group, with a mentor who is able to support you academically, as well as give you a few pointers adapting to life, both in The Hague and in university. So what comes after urban studies? The Urban Studies Bachelor program lasts for 3 years, but it's always encouraged to pursue a master's afterwards. Those who pursue a master's, according to our labor research, have higher career prospects than those who don't. But of course, if you do want to go directly into the workforce, about 1/5 of urban studies graduates go directly into employment upon completion of their degree. There are a wide variety of different master's options for you, both along the traditional urbanist path, such as studying urban planning or urban governance. But one of the nice things about this degree is that it's possible to pursue a master's in one of the 4 urban studies tracks. So for instance, when studying the Safe City, if you discover a passion for criminology and learning about crime within cities, it's possible to tailor your minor and other electives in order to pursue a master's in criminology or a related topic. Of course, we're all curious about the different jobs that you could have upon completion of bachelor's and a potential master's. So of course, within the urban track, it's possible to work as an urban planner. But across all of the different disciplines, you're able to bring different specializations and the knowledge of analyzing different texts and statistics in order to work in analyst positions, as well as more specific things as well. So for instance, if you specialize into the Healthy City track, you're able to work as a health policy advisor for a municipality, an NGO, or a private company if you so desire. Is this the right program for you? Urban Studies just might be the right program for you if you're interested in learning about the issues cities face and the opportunities that cities have from a wide variety of different disciplines and different angles. Urban Studies might be for you if you're willing to put the time in studying, working, and reading in order to better your own knowledge of urban issues. If you're willing to approach urban studies and urban topics with a creative mind and be willing to think from outside of the box, then it might be the right program for you. And of course, Urban Studies is a very international program too, with our students coming from cities and towns and rural areas across the globe. It's quite something when discussing, say, diversity in Rotterdam, that someone can chime in with their own experiences from New York or Cairo or Cape Town and contribute to a very large pool of urban knowledge within the program. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the admission and application processes. The requirements for applying for urban studies are available on screen as well, but you can also find more information on our website, especially if you are applying from abroad. Of course, urban studies is an English-taught program, so if you come from a country that is not natively English-speaking, you also need to prove proficiency within the English language. The necessary dates are available on screen now. For instance, if you are applying from outside the EU and require a visa, the deadline is the 1st of April. It is also recommended to apply by the 1st of April if you require housing assistance from the Leiden University Housing Office. The deadline is the 1st of May for Dutch students who wish to complete the study choice check, and the final deadline is the 15th of June for EU students who do not require a visa. If you think that urban studies might be the right program for you, there's lots of opportunities to get a greater feel for the course, as well as to learn a bit more information as well. For instance, we have an open day throughout the year, and you can engage in our online experience for urban studies at any time. It's also possible to engage in a Student for a Day program, where you meet with a current urban studies student and go to a lecture and a work group in order to get a greater feel for the depth of the course. It's also possible to chat with students like me online using the university's chat functionality. All of this information, as well as precise dates, are available on our website. So with all that in mind, I hope that Urban Studies is the right program for you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on campus next year.